Oliver was in the forest with his metal detector when he suddenly heard a loud beeping noise. After digging, he had the feeling that he had found a fortune. It looked like a giant lump of gold. He felt like he had to take it to the jeweler in the city to sell it. Oliver decided to take the stone to a jeweler with the intention of trading it for a lot of money. This will change his life forever, but not in the way he hoped. But before we start our story, smash the like button, make sure to subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so you won't miss any new stories. Oliver was acting so suspicious that he raised some eyebrows from other Heekers. He was then approached by a forest ranger who asked him if everything was all right. Oliver thought about keeping the stone all to himself, but something told him he had to show the ranger what he had stepped on. Oliver eventually showed the ranger what he had found. When opening up his hand, the ranger instantly changed his attitude. He told Oliver that he should put it back where he had found it. He should not have this in his possession. Oliver was shocked but ignored his advice. Oliver decided that he would make a run for it. He did not intend to just give up his chance at a fortune. Oliver decided that he would go to a jeweler he knows. This is the only person he really trusts at the moment. Oliver quickly arrived at Mark's jewelry store. He felt lucky that the whole store was empty. Mark was surprised to see Oliver. Oliver started rambling about this very special stone that he wanted to sell. Mark did not believe Oliver at first, but he went along with it anyways. Mark saw the stone in Oliver's hand, but he thought it was a cheap stone from a souvenir shop. But when Oliver handed the stone to Mark, it suddenly felt way heavier than he expected. Mark was shocked to see the stone. Oliver could see that. It was like Mark recognized something. Mark told Oliver he needed a day to investigate and authenticate the stone. Only then could he offer a reasonable price. Oliver was hesitant, but agreed to these terms. Oliver could not sleep the entire night. He was constantly thinking about the gold. Could it be worth a life-changing amount of money? The next day, Oliver went back to the Mark. Upon entering, the vibe was a lot different than yesterday. Oliver did not feel welcome anymore. He decided to ignore his gut feeling. Mark was instantly acting suspiciously upon starting the conversation. He told Oliver that he could not have or even see this lump of gold. Oliver was confused. What does that even mean? He started a massive rant. Oliver wanted his gold back, but Mark did not even show him the lump of gold. He said he did not have the right anymore. Oliver then decided he would take his gold back, and without warning, Mark walked into the back office. Mark instantly followed Oliver inside, and the two kept arguing. Eventually, Mark gave in. Mark gave the gold to Oliver, but when Oliver grabbed it, it wasn't heavy at all. Oliver asks Mark what he has done to the stone, but Mark just gives some fake answers. Then, Oliver realizes something is off. The gold that Oliver had found was way heavier, so Mark gave Oliver a fake lump of gold to get rid of him. It even looked really cheap. Oliver threw the fake lump of gold back at Mark, and Mark finally realized that it was futile to try and deceive Oliver. Mark decides to give stone back. Mark sighs and gives the gold back to Oliver. Oliver finally calmed down, but then Mark said to him that he had made a big mistake. He should not have taken the gold back. Mark said that Oliver would definitely regret this. Oliver steps outside with the gold. He kept thinking about what Mark had just said. What had he found? When driving away, everything was fine, and Oliver felt relieved he had the gold. Then he realizes he is being followed by a black van. Was this a coincidence? Oliver stepped on the gas to shake the van, but the van sped up as well. After some clever maneuvering, Oliver managed to shake the van that was following him. He now knew for sure he had found something special. Oliver decided he would go to another jeweler the next day to sell this gold. He just had to get through this night. And Oliver had the feeling that wasn't going to be easy. Oliver was very restless that evening that he decided to go to a friend's house. He wanted to show the gold before he sold it. The decision to go to this friend probably saved his life, because when he returned home, he turned pale. There were a lot of people gathered in front of Oliver's house when he returned. He did not know what was going on, but then he saw something. His neighbor recognized Oliver and told him it was not a good idea to enter. The first thing Oliver sees is that his front window is completely shattered. Upon inspecting further, it seems like his front door is also kicked in. Everyone tried to stop Oliver from entering, but he did not listen. When entering, he burst into tears. Oliver's house is a huge mess. Oliver could not believe his eyes. When realizing nothing was stolen, he knew they were after the gold. Literally, his whole house was searched and many things were destroyed. He had to call the police. When calling the police, they did not want to come if nothing was stolen, but Oliver insisted on them coming to make a report. This was the only way insurance would cover this. The woman on the phone did not seem to please, but she told Oliver she would send some officers. After waiting for half an hour, a police car finally arrived. There was only one officer inside the car. Oliver quickly ran outside to tell him what was going on. He seemed to take it very serious until he stepped inside. The police officer stepped inside, and upon entering, he suddenly got a call. When answering, his attitude totally changes. He looked at Oliver and did not say a thing anymore. Oliver gets the feeling something is off. Oliver asks the police officer what is going on, but he tells Oliver nothing is going on. He then says that Oliver needs to file a report and that they will look into it. When Oliver asks why he didn't to investigate the break-in, he doesn't answer. Oliver files a detailed report of the break-in, but he is surprised that without even looking at it, the police officers step back into his car and just drive off. Why were they not taking him seriously? Is this all connected? Oliver really wants to get rid of the gold. The first thing he will do in the morning is go to the nearest jeweler. It is too late now to just throw it away because the people looking for it will keep coming for him. Oliver did not sleep all night. His neighbor invited him to stay at his home. Oliver accepted because he did not feel safe in his own house anymore. He counted down the minutes to drive to the jeweler and get rid of the gold. The minute the jeweler opened, Oliver was there. Upon entering the jeweler, he feels like he is expected by the jeweler. He was instantly greeted and he felt very welcome. Maybe Mark had told this jeweler about the gold, or there was something else going on that Oliver did not know about. The jeweler asked Oliver to inspect the gold. When he saw the gold, he gasped. This gave Oliver the indication that he knew something more. The gold wasn't glowing at all. Then the jeweler asked Oliver to touch it. When Oliver touched the gold, it instantly started glowing. That is when the jeweler made an enormous offer. Oliver felt like he was in heaven. He could finally get rid of the gold, and he would get a lot of money. But things would quickly turn sour. Oliver was very happy and let his guard down. He told the jeweler he accepted his offer without really thinking about it. Then the jeweler said he would get the money out of his vault. But this took a long time. The jeweler seemed to really take his time. Oliver knocked on his office door to see what was going on, but the jeweler did not respond at all. It was like he was stalling Oliver. Oliver was really confused. He just wanted his money. A man that was already in the store when Oliver entered was staring at him from the corner. Oliver had not realized this, but he felt he was being watched. Oliver felt really anxious. The man did not move an inch until Oliver felt something painful. Without realizing it, Oliver was on the ground. Someone had snuck up on him from behind. The jeweler came back in and confirmed to the man that Oliver was the one that they were after. Suddenly, more people flooded inside the jewelry store. Oliver only realized after minutes that the FBI was coming in. Oliver had no idea why they were after him, but he had the feeling it had something to do with the gold. Oliver was arrested and was told he had the right to remain silent. Oliver was so confused that he did not even know what was happening. Was he really arrested? He was dragged to an FBI van and put into the back. Oliver was in total shock. He even fainted for a moment. It was all too much. The officers tried to get him back to consciousness. Oliver started to beg the officers to let him go, but they weren't going to let him go. He was brought to the nearest FBI office. When entering the office, everyone was staring at him like he was some kind of criminal. Oliver had to get his story straight if he wanted to get out of this situation, or else he would be in jail for the rest of his life. He was instantly confronted with the gold. He was asked where he got it from and who his accomplices were. Oliver was still in such shock that he could not even answer one single question. Then he was brought to a lineup. He was asked to identify his accomplices. The people in the lineup did not even seem to recognize Oliver and were surprised to see him there. Oliver asked the officers if this was some elaborate joke, but they weren't joking. He tells them he doesn't know anyone in the lineup. He calms himself down and tells the officers he is ready to tell the entire story of how he got this gold. The officers were very interested and agreed to take him back for interrogation. Oliver starts telling his side of the story. He found gold in the forest while he was surfing. He stood on it and really hurt his feet. He even showed the scar on his feet. The officers agreed they would believe him and go to the beach to investigate. Oliver was brought to the forest with the officers to identify the place where he had found the gold. Oliver roughly pointed to where he had found the gold. A large group of officers instantly investigated further. Luckily for Oliver, he saw the ranger he had spoken to earlier. The ranger agreed to talk to the officers. He gave Oliver the alibi that he needed so that he did not obtain this gold illegally. Then the officers trusted Oliver again and started telling him what was going on with the gold. The lump of gold was part of a massive heist last week. Oliver could prove his innocence. And thanks to the traces in the forest and more people finding small lumps of gold, this led to the real thieves. The thieves had hijacked a plane carrying a lot of gold. When jumping out of the plane, they lost some gold in the forest. Oliver was fully compensated for all the damages.